Welcome to the Teachers Impact Podcast, or better yet known as The Tip, where teachers can come to master their craft, use their voice, and enhance student learning. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Teachers Impact Podcast, better yet known as The Tip. I'm so excited today because we have Akia Williams. She's been a teacher for a number of years. We worked together in a previous school district. She also listens to the podcast, and I wanted to have her on because she has so much enthusiasm and joy when it comes to teaching and learning. And so, I thought it would be a great time to just talk to her. What are her views? What are her thoughts? And everything in between. So, welcome, Akia.
Thank you. Thank you, Shani Marie, for having me. Yes, I am a fan of the podcast. I love it. I love what you're doing. I think us educators need that in our world. We have no one to really voice much for us when it comes to sharing our expertise, strategies in the classroom, and also just, being able to just have a support group of educators. So what you're doing is so amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that support group of educators is so important. All right. So, Akia, yes, like I mentioned before, I said that we worked together in the past. But tell us about your motivation to become a teacher.
It all started, I'm going to be honest, my parents were really instrumental in my motivation, as well as my third grade teacher. She also, became a mentor to me later on in my educational career as well. And we still keep in contact. So my parents really fought for me. They inspired me to be whatever I wanted. They had no boundaries on anything that I wanted to do. I went to an arts high school. I thought I wanted to do dramatics. I thought I wanted to be an actor. And for some strange reason, I just kept feeling like, no, I need to be an educator. I want to be an educator. And I will always think about my third grade teacher and the things that she instilled in me, how she instilled them in me. And we were still communicating at that time. So hearing her say, you would be great as an educator. You would be great, in the classroom. You have leadership abilities. Just her saying certain things to me motivated me, as well as my other high school teacher as well. She also inspired me to become an educator and to give back to my community, because that's what it's about. And that's where I started. I started out in a community that I was born and raised in. And I would love to, return one day. But, life happens. But for the most part, I really take my hat off to those individuals because they really instilled a lot in me. And they are the reason why I am an educator today.
Awesome. We have to give people their flowers while they're here with us, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Yeah, parents make a big impression on us at a young age, and our former teachers make a big impression on us. That's awesome.
Yes.
So I know being a teacher is very challenging, and I want to know, tell me, what was one of your most challenging times as a teacher?
Ooh. I've had a few, but I'm just going to speak on one. I would say my very first year in early childhood education. My first year was the most challenging year for me. First off, I was new to early childhood education. I came from an elementary setting, so it was very different for me, but not too different. Just the age was probably the issue for me, and just the curriculum was a lot different, adjusting to what skills needed to be taught, how, not being able to have a desk and just having a teacher corner. So it was really challenging for me because I had to readjust everything and I had to undo what was done and what I knew. But it wasn't too bad. But I would just say my first year was very challenging. I was all over the place. I feel so bad, for that first graduating class because Miss Williams was having a hard time. But, I made it, but it was really challenging. I had a lot to do. And I had some support along the way, which was good. But it was just a lot for me to unfold. It was a lot for me to unravel. And so quickly, things were happening so quickly. and it was really challenging for me. I had to keep up with the curriculum, keep up with, the children and mastering certain skills at a certain time, what the children should know in the beginning of the year, the middle of the year, the end of the year, working with another partner in the classroom. I'm like, oh, honey, this is a marriage. We're together for 10 months. We're married for 10 months. So, just adjusting to a new person in the classroom. And I haven't had to do that. So it was really challenging, but nonetheless, I made it through. But that
What do you
first year,
think helped you made it through? Like,
a lot of prayer, to be honest.
mm,
I had to really, really, really hold on to my faith because I felt like I was being tested. So a lot of prayer, a lot of faith building, and having my support system there was another um, aspect that helped me to get through that. Because if I didn't have the support system, I probably would have pulled my hair out and left teaching.
wow. Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like elementary and early childhood, they're different. And I don't think a lot of people realize it. Like the early child, like pre-K, preschool, it's different. It's a lot of adjustment that you have to make. So yeah, kudos to you. I mean, I taught preschool for like maybe a year, but most of my experience is in elementary. And I think about, you know, what it what preschool teachers do. It's in comparison to what all teachers do. Like it's a lot. So yeah. We talked about your most challenging times. So tell us about like your most rewarding times as a teacher.
Oh, my most rewarding times is meeting those children in September with very little and seeing them in June master so much. That's one of the most rewarding things for me. I often get a lot of children enter my classroom that English is their second language. So a lot of them come to me with very little language. A lot of them for the first time, because I teach pre-K 3, so a lot of them for the first time are entering school and they have no clue. And they're so innocent. And they, that they only want to please you, but they
Mm.
come to you with very little, and it's from the beginning, from the very first day to the very last day, you're educating, you're showing them so much, you're instilling so much in them, and they're learning so many different skills. And I always say, I keep it basic in my classroom. One is respect, two is listening skills, and three is just being kind to each other. I feel like those are skills those are also, life management skills. So I teach a lot of that. Independence is another one. Often, a lot of the children have older siblings, but it's unfortunate that some of my little babies have to do for themselves. So,
Um,
it's just rewarding. Yeah, it's rewarding to see them grow and shape their young mind and say, wow, you didn't know that in September. And here you are speaking English, or here you are speaking a full 3 to 4 or 5, 6
mm.
sentences. And you're answering questions and your listening skills are superb. So those are my most rewarding times as an educator, just meeting those children where they are and then seeing where they end up in September is so amazing for me. And then also supporting other teachers as well, because I've also mentored throughout my educational career. So even the novice teachers, supporting them and just giving them feedback, just being serving as a coach, because I tell them, honey, we're the same. There's something that I'm still learning. So, whatever by all means, share with me, and what I know, I'll share with you. And let's just let's just piggyback off of one another. Let's just learn from one another, and let's just be supportive. So, also, supporting other teachers is also rewarding because I get an opportunity to see, their strengths and support them with their target areas.
That's awesome. Yeah, just seeing the growth, right? The growth and development in students and teachers, that is very rewarding. And I like the fact that you mentioned about listening skills and life skills. It's so, so important, especially now. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, more than ever, more than ever.
Yeah. So this is just an additional question. So you said that, you worked with adults, novice teachers, like comparing that to working with children, like what's challenging about that?
Well, I would say sometimes you have teachers that really, I don't want to use the word stubborn, but sometimes it's difficult, it's challenging for them to let go of certain things, like things that, oh, well, I want to do it this way. And I often let them do their thing, but I just try to record them so they can sometimes see where the error is instead of me sharing it. Because I notice sometimes if I share, sometimes it could be challenging giving feedback because then they'll, see it from their lens versus an objective lens. And I try to be as objective as possible and share. Even I've made that mistake before, or I've made that error. So sometimes it's a little challenging giving the feedback when it's time to like share feedback. Sometimes
Yeah.
it's a little different. And they're like, I didn't see that, or this is, and how could you say this? I'm like, I don't want to debate. So next time I'll just record you so you can find, the errors and we can go over it together and see where we can master certain things. So I would say the feedback probably is the most challenging for me. Because sometimes I have some opinionated mentees and sometimes they don't want to hear it.
Yeah. Feedback is hard because one of another lady I know, she used to say, quote, people are sensitive about their stuff. So, especially teachers, you get kind of
Right.
sensitive sometimes because, you're doing the best you can and
Seriously.
somebody's giving you feedback. You're like, okay, hold up. But yeah,
Right.
I
Yeah,
like
that's what
the
I need to say. I'm guilty of it too sometimes. I'm like, wait a minute, I didn't see that. Or okay, well, can I share what I saw, what I felt, like what happened? So, I get it. But for me, that's probably like one of the most challenging. So really, I'm really keen on being objective when it comes to giving feedback because I understand how they may, internalize it. And like you said, we're
yeah.
sensitive, and I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. Definitely. I love the recording part of it. That's a great idea.
Yes, yes, and I say that I even do it for myself sometimes. Like if I feel like I didn't like teach the activity, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think they mastered that objective that I wanted to cover today. I'm gonna record myself and see where I went wrong because my children really didn't grasp it. What did I say? What did I do? So sometimes I'm able to catch myself. I'll say, "Oh, I forgot to add this," or I didn't say that." Oh, this, oh, now I see these group of children were attentive. I should have stopped and did this. So it kind of helps me, understand where I went wrong, what errors I made, and how I can fix them. It's like a self evaluation, a way of self evaluating myself. So
That's
that works.
awesome.
For me, it works.
That's a great
It's a good
tip.
tip.
So you just gave us one great tip about recording your teaching. So what are some other tips that you have for us or for the audience,
Oh,
I should
other tips,
say?
I would say always be ahead of the game. Try to be as proactive as possible because things happen in education and they also happen so suddenly. And just remain flexible. Try to be flexible. Try not to take anything personal. Just, let it be water off of a duck's back. There's always something that you're going to have to enhance in no matter what. So if you know you're doing your best, forget the rest. Try to take it easy. Self-care, get a lot of self-care in because we are on from 8 to 3. And sometimes even after that with lesson planning, assessments, other things. So self-care is also important. So whatever it is that you enjoy doing, do it. Life is extremely short nowadays. We all know things are happening. So it's important to take care of yourself. I will also say try to develop a good support system and lean on to them. Sometimes we get in a habit of just doing things alone and not really, sharing what we're doing in the classroom. Sometimes it can be a help to hear from others and what they're doing because they can help give you ideas without you even saying anything. So I would say those
Mm.
tips probably would be very helpful for those coming into the field and just try not to be stagnant. Always try to think outside of the box.
Yeah, I completely agree with those 100%. Being flexible, don't stay stagnant, just always trying to, like you said, stay ahead of the game, always learning. So important in education. All right. So we talked about, the tips you have for teachers coming into the field. Now let's go a little bit broader. Like what is one way you think the education system can be improved?
Better salaries for teachers. But as far as children are concerned,
You went straight to it. I love it. Okay.
I'm being real. I'm being real. We need, honestly, we have the heaviest influence. The heaviest influence. And if we can pay these other professionals six figures, why not an educator? We have such a heavy influence on people. Our doctors and lawyers and fellow teachers and entrepreneurs, they learn from someone, an educator, someone inspired, someone motivated. It was an educator. So I just feel like we're often neglected when it comes to that.
Mm.
We don't get our just due sometimes. But as far as our children are concerned, I would say more outreach programs for our children are needed, especially in the urban areas. Giving them that opportunity to be able to think outside the box. More, how can I say this? More activities that lean itself towards the arts. Because in the classroom, I see
Mm.
how creative our children are, how they have this like these like they're beyond us. I'm like, wow, I'm blown away by some of the things that my children create in the classroom. And once we reach a certain level in the classroom, I'm listening to the way they're speaking. Wow. Even with technology, how they are with technology it's amazing at 3. I don't think I didn't have that kind of technology back when I was growing up. And I'm not 40 yet, but I didn't have that.
It's a
It's like,
whole different world with them, right?
yes. So I would say to improve, I would say they need to bring in some outreach programs where our children can it lends itself towards the arts.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah,
Thank
we need
you.
that creative knack in our children. We need to spark that. We need to spark that. And I think once we do that, we'll see some difference. And also just having more brain breaks for children. That's also important
Yes.
because our brain can only handle 20 minutes of knowledge at a time. And when I taught the higher grades, I would do a 20-minute brain break. When those long blocks, we would play a game that I learned from a professor when I started the P to 3 program. We would play a game called 100 Grand, and I picked that up and I would play it with my children. So it goes like this: after 20 minutes, you stop. You use the actual candy, 100 grand,
Okay.
and let's say if we're talking about math. I'll throw out some questions, have the children answer them, and throw them a piece of candy to play 100 grand. So that little brain break in between really helped them, and they got right back on target after we were done. So those frequent brain breaks will support children and help them to get their mind back. Like, okay, back to work. I'm refreshed. And even naps. Sometimes I honestly feel like giving these children a brain break because they're overwhelmed. They're
I
overwhelmed, and
agree.
yes, and we're overwhelmed too. And as a and in addition to that, they start to have those challenging behaviors happening after that because they're like, I'm overwhelmed. They really don't know how to communicate it. So I
Yeah.
think less testing. I know we have to test. I know those things are important, but it's very intense. Lessen the intensity. Put more programs in there where children can utilize the arts and give them children more brain breaks. It's so needed. So needed.
Wow, thank you. Yeah. Yeah, because if you look at a typical day, you're constantly on the go. Like every minute is scheduled. Like and just speaking personally, I give my kids brain breaks, but then sometimes it's like you're thinking like, "Oh my gosh, what if an administrator walks in here?" And the brain break is like, you're getting a pop-up observation and an administrator walks in. But the kids need that time. It's not like they just need it. And it's like if every single minute of the day is scheduled, they get overwhelmed. Like it's yeah. So like you said, those brain breaks, just give less intensity, just that time to just like it's okay if you take a 20-minute.
Right.
It's
It should
okay.
be
Like the world is not gonna end. Like,
exactly.
but I
Learning
think
is still gonna take place.
yes. But I think sometimes I don't know when you're not because you can be outside of the classroom and still connected, but sometimes you have. Let me just preface by saying some administrators they're outside of the classroom, but they're not connected, and so it's like they'll say, "Oh, 20 minutes? That's too long." Like no, based on what's going on in my classroom, this is what they need at this point.
Right.
So, yeah, thank you. I agree 100%.
Yeah.
Definitely, yeah, less intensity. That's exactly the words I would say. I completely agree. All right, so that's the main part of our question. So we've been having fun, but we're gonna have a little more fun.
Hey.
So this is the rapid fire round we do for all the interviews. So
Okay.
all right. So you're not going to have a lot of time to answer. I'm not going to time you. Don't worry. Less intensity.
Right. I need that.
All right. So, first question. What's one thing that surprises you about people? No, what's one thing about you that surprises people?
Oh, that's interesting. I'm gonna say that they get an opportunity to see that I'm really down to earth. Get an opportunity because I think sometimes my parents feel like I'm not approachable, but once they get to know me, they're like, "Oh, you're so down to earth," and then we end up keeping in contact for years. Like I still have my second graduating class in preschool. I still keep in touch with them. They're like 11 now. So yeah, I would say yeah, definitely that the parents get to see a different me. Like, oh, you're so down to earth. You're so in the classroom you're so different. Oh, and it's just and it could be something simple like they can compliment my shoes or compliment my hair or something that I'm wearing like a neck piece or something or my coat, anything, and then it becomes a whole different time. Like, hey, yes, thank you, girl. You need to go here. So I think them knowing that I'm just like them, it surprises them. Like, wow, you just like, oh, okay, so you're not in teacher mode all the time. You can, just tone her down a little bit, but I do make it my business to stay professional at all times. But I have established relationships with, a lot of my parents outside of the school, and we still connect to this day, and I'm still supportive of, my children to this day. So they're like in fifth grade, and I'm still talking to them, still mentoring them, still, feeding them a little
Wow.
knowledge. So
Wow.
yeah, yeah, I would say
That's
that.
awesome. That's awesome. All right. So, where is your happy place?
My bed.
Ooh.
When I get in my bed, oh my goodness, and I had to have, like for me, I have to have my bedroom as my peaceful place. Like, oh, that's my happy place. I have no TV in my bedroom purposely, and I grew up without a TV in my bedroom. I grew up with just a bed, a bookshelf, and my dressers, and my Barbie.
Wow.
So even to this day, my happy place is still my bedroom, my bed. I love laying in the bed and just listening to my soft music, relaxing, doing my deep breathing, and texting sometimes. But I just
Yeah.
love my bed. That's my happy place, my bed. I buy sheets like clothes because I
Oh,
like to be
wow.
comfortable there. And I have certain
Wow.
colors there because I wanted to feel like peace, neutral. So I'm like constantly changing up things in my bedroom. Like, ooh, okay, let me take that out of here. Oh no, I don't need that in here. Okay, look, it's time for a change. But everyone that visits my bedroom, like, oh my God, it's so nice in here, so comfortable. Can I sit on your bed? Absolutely not. Not in my happy place.
Love that. Love that. All right. If you had to eat one thing for every meal going forward, what would you eat?
Oh, I'm a foodie, so oh my gosh, that's challenging to answer. I'm gonna say I've been having a thing for steak lately. I don't know why. I don't know what's going on with me. I'm not having no baby, but I've been wanting steak a lot. I don't know why, but I'm gonna say steak right now.
Okay.
I don't
Hey,
I don't know why, but yeah, steak.
a
Either
steak.
steak or potatoes. I love
Ooh,
starch. Potatoes. Yep. Steak or potatoes.
nice. All right. If you could win an Olympic medal for any sport, real or fake, what would it be?
Volleyball. That's my
Ooh.
sport. I love volleyball since high school. We would play, and I'm not athletic at all. I don't know anything about sports. Nothing. Don't ask me what a quarterback does. Don't ask me what a forward is. I know nothing. Even baseball. I know nothing about sports, and it's okay. I just watch it for fun. But I love volleyball, so I would say volleyball.
Wow. That's good to know. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, I love volleyball. Yeah. So see, there you go. You found something surprising about me.
I know.
Like volleyball. I've never played it on the beach though, because I don't think I can keep up. But I would love to try. I would love to try. That's going to be a goal. I'm going to try.
Yeah, you should. You should.
Yes.
All
But I
right.
want to go out to the country when I do that. That'll be fun.
Ooh, yes, volleyball and playing volleyball on the beach of Brazil. Yes, correct. Or
Yes.
in the in the Caribbean.
Girl, I
Yes.
want to go right to Jamaica and play on the beach.
Yes, that too. But I'm so used to it. It doesn't come to mind. But yeah. All right. This was so much fun, Akia. Thank you for
You are
giving us
so
your
welcome.
ideas, your thoughts. Where can the listeners find you if they want to connect with you to get more tips and just to have conversation?
Well, I'm actually not on any platforms, and I think I need to change that because I get a lot of, people that come to me for advice. So I was like, you know what? I was thinking about doing a TikTok, but I haven't set anything up yet, or maybe an Instagram, but I have not done it yet. So I would
Oh,
say, yeah, I'm not on any platforms right now. I'm just like around. But I
it's
am
okay.
on Facebook. I can be found on Facebook. And if you anyone want to shout me a holler on Facebook, you can reach out to me, Akia Tradeologist Williams. I'm on Facebook. My page is public. I don't hide anything. I'm very chill on my page. Nothing about debates or any no. I just like to keep it normal, keep it simple. I'm a normal human, so if you guys want to reach out, feel free. I'm on Facebook right now. That's the only platform, but I do plan on changing that. Now that you said that, you just really instilled something in me, like a little fire underneath me. Maybe I might, try.
Yeah, try one
Yeah,
other one. See how
right.
it goes.
Yeah. Or either I'll even think about going live sometime and just talking.
Ooh, that you would be wonderful at that.
But yeah, I think I'm gonna get on some platform so I could just start talking to our fellow educators and just to the ladies and gentlemen as well. So yeah, you can find
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, find me on Facebook, Akia Tradeologist Williams. That's Tradeologist. Last name Williams. So I got the name Miss Tradeologist from a friend of mine. It's something that it's a nickname, so I just kept it, and it's a cool name, so I
It
like
is
that.
cool.
Okay, tradeologist, the study of trades. Okay, because I'm an educator. All right. Yeah, I
All
kept
right.
it.
Thank you again. And
You're so welcome.
yeah, so follow her on Facebook or find her on Facebook and we'll talk soon.
All right.